Hello friends, my name is Shayla and today I am here to give you some Western romance recommendations, aka we're here to talk about the cowboy smut. So in today's video, I'm going to be recommending some Western romance series that I have fallen in love with over the last couple of years, as I've been reading a lot more romance than I used to. I was on a huge fantasy only kick, not really reading much romance for a long time, and now I'm kind of doing the opposite, even though I still love my fantasy, don't get me wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. I do want to preface that a lot of these come from my friends over at Forever Romance. I do work with them. They do send me ARCs in exchange for free and honest reviews, but I want you to know that that hasn't colored my perception of these books at all. These are legitimately books that I enjoyed, and that is the only reason why they are on this list. And I haven't put all of the ones that they've sent me on this list. I've only put my favorite series on this list. So we have one from Berkeley, and then the rest are from Forever. If you have not checked out their imprint, I highly recommend that you do. And again, this is not a sponsored video. I'm just doing this because I really enjoy the titles, and I think you guys might enjoy them too. So at the top of the stack here, we have the Crossroads Ranch series. This follows a series of brothers as they inherit a ranch from their family, and they each have obviously different backgrounds and stuff, but I really like the way their ranch operates because they expand things out more than just a ranch. And so it's really well done and well handled. I haven't run into anything in the romantic pairings that gave me pause. I've read the first 3 novels in this. I don't know if there are more than that. These are by A.J. Pine, and I just really enjoyed this. This first book is about Jack and Ava, and this first one is obviously a second chance romance. These two knew each other in high school. They were dealing with a lot. They ended up breaking up, dealt with things separately, and then they've kind of been reacquainted and are coming back together. And I just really like how things are handled. The smut's pretty good from what I remember. It has been a minute since I've read this series, but this is one that I think most people will find something that they relate to within the series. Next up we have, I'm not sure what this series is called. This is the Holler Creek series. This takes place in Montana, and again, this is another just really fun, really solid cowboy series. In this book right here, which was the first one that I read, we're following Sam and Penny, and I believe this is one where a girl's kind of down on her luck, and she ends up working for the guy's family, and he's come back after a long time, and so he notices her, and things escalate from there. And so it's that forced proximity kind of situation. It's really well done, really well handled. I really remember really enjoying this read. I believe I read this during one of my contemporary-a-thons. If I can find that blog, I'll leave it linked for you if you want more like in-depth details on this one. Oh, Montana Strong. That's what they call this series, is Montana Strong. It takes place in Holler Creek, but this is the Montana Strong series. And I really enjoyed it. I know I've read at least one other book in this series, maybe 2, and I've enjoyed them as well. So definitely give this one a try. Next up on the list, we have the Loveless Texas series. There is a 0.5, then this novel, and then the most recent novel, Unforgiven. In this one, we're following a family of siblings who, their family dynamic is really messed up. Their mom dies when they're very young, and their dad is kind of a corrupt cop. And so they're dealing with community expectations of their family, as well as their own family dynamic, and then the people that fit into this one. Unforgiven, which is the second novel, is probably my favorite, but this one was also really good. We follow Case and Aspen, and this one, Aspen's kind of on the run and scared for her life, and Case is the one who ends up taking care of her, and it's just really well done. The smut is chef's kiss in this series. The smut is really, really good. So if you're looking for a really good smutty Western romance, this one. Next up, we have the Longhorn Canyon series by Carolyn Brown. This is this was probably the series that really got me interested in Western romances. I really like the family dynamics in this one. I believe Cowboy Bold's the first one. Yeah, Cade and Retta. So in this one, their family has this summer retreat for kids down on their luck. And so Retta is hired to help with that. And so her and Cade end up in that forced proximity living thing. I love when cowboy romances do this. And so she kind of just slowly is indoctrinated into the family while they like bloom in their relationship. And of course they find ways to pull each other apart, as is common in any romance. But this particular one was really enjoyable. I really like the whole series. One of my favorite ones was actually the Christmas one from this last Christmas, where we're following, I believe his name is Maverick. He's this like Irish guy and he goes home to Ireland, I think. No, he doesn't go home to Ireland. He goes to stay with his grandmother, and this woman that he had a one night stand with in Ireland ends up coming and staying with his grandmother, because they were like, the girl's grandma and Maverick's grandma were like best friends. And these two had no clue that they were still connected and stuff. And so it's really well handled. It's a weird take. It's a different take on a single parent romance. And so I really like how that one plays out. But all of them are really good. The smut factor isn't super high in these, but what you get is good from what I remember. Next up, we have the Once Upon a Time in Texas series by Carly Bloom. This one is a down and dirty, smutty Western romance series. And again, there's a 0.5, then there's this one, and then there's book 2 that's also out. And in these ones, we're following various different family dynamics. In this one, we're following Travis and Maggie, and theirs is kind of a weird take on a single parent romance as well. But the second book in the series, I enjoyed better than this one, if I'm honest. That one is called Cowboy Come Home. I read it in March, and that one follows a couple that we see in here and are hinted at, but that one's like a second chance romance kind of thing. It's second chance and then that forced living proximity thing that I really love. So yeah, this one is about like the weird, crazy neighbor next door kind of situation. And it's just handled really well. I really enjoy it. And yes, very, very good. Love the series. Next we have Rocky Mountain Heat. This is from the, it's something about like wedding veils or something, but this is by Lori Wilde. I got teased mercilessly in the manga community when I read this, because I mentioned it on a live stream, and they teased me because of the name and the cover. So anyways, this one is a very steamy, faded lovers style romance. And I would say it's probably more small town than cowboy, but it does kind of fit here is what it feels like, because there is, you know, cowboy related things going on around it. But in this one, we're dealing with grief and loss of a loved one and moving on from that and stuff. So it's heavier, but still really well done. Really like it. And then last but not least, we have the Blacktop Cowboy series by Lorelei James. I've read 2 books in this series. The other one I read is called Spun Out. And then I read this one, but this one was my favorite of the 2. In this one, we're following Reese and Ike, and these two have that enemies to friends to lovers dynamic going on. And there's also CDL truck driving mashed into the middle of this because of Reese's profession. And also Reese gets injured, and so Ike has to take care of her. So you have this enemies to lovers tension while he's like nursing her back to health. It's gold. I really, really love this. Probably more than I should, if I'm honest. And yes, I highly recommend this series as a whole. It's just really well written. These are down and dirty. I did not get a star because my least favorite word comes up in the first sex scene. So it's the C word, if anybody is asking. So that did come up, and I hate when that's present in sex scenes. It pulls me out of the moment because I hate the word so much. So just know that that's there. If you feel the same about that word, you might just want to be aware that that's present. But yes, I really enjoyed this. It is like down and dirty, filthy, smutty, almost like angry sex smutty. So yes, very good. So friends, those are my Western romance, aka cowboy smut romances for you today. Let me know in the comments down below if there are any others that you love, because I am always looking for Western romance recommendations. Thank you guys so much for watching. You know what to do because this is YouTube. See you guys later.